Today is Chinese New Year, the year of the rabbit, 2023. And of course, as you may know, today everyone's supposed to gather together. All family members, the closest kin, extended family members welcome as well. And we get to see the young ones and the elderlies alike and just enjoy a day together and end up having a giant feast. And of course, exchange some red envelopes. Can't forget that. But I gotta tell you, today was a bit of a somber experience. Granted, of course, everything was happy and great. But in the back of my head, I couldn't help but have this thought lingering in my mind. And that's why I'm talking about it in this video tonight. It's because my aunt, who lives alone, is 80 years old. And throughout the last few months, you could really see her cognitive functions as well as motor functions have been deteriorating at quite a fast pace. And it's hard to really stomach. It's a sad state of affairs because there was quite a lot of people in today's gatherings that are around 80, my dad included. I come from a family where I was born really late. And the running joke is, of course, I was an accident. But I digress. My families are great. I love them all dearly. But hey, the truth of the matter is, everyone's around 80. And you could see clearly their sun is setting. Hopefully they can live till 90 and even 100. But we gotta face reality. Tomorrow is never promised. But there's one thing I totally recognize is purpose in life. When I look at these old people, you can see they have no real motivation or drive or purpose anymore. Is it because they've already done all they can? They're tired? They've expended their youth? Are their brain functions deteriorating to the point where they no longer have any interest in taking up new hobbies? Is their mission complete, as in they finished raising their children who now have children of their own and there's nothing else for them to do aside from, for lack of better words, a wait for death? Because that idea scares me. I don't want to be 80 years old and have no more purpose or drive and just spend day in and day out just either sitting in front on the couch in front of the television watching anything that plays, or in the more technologically advanced age watching the iPad, because that's really pretty much all they do. Because at 80, if we're healthy and we keep up with our fitness, we could easily live to 100, especially as Asians. We live pretty damn long. 100 is definitely not out of the question. So with 20 years left, have I already given up the world to try something new? 20 years of just passing the day in and out. It's like, hey, as long as I'm fulfilling my daily bodily functions like eating, sleeping, just chilling at home, maybe go out once in a while to get some groceries, and that's it. It's a scary thought to have, and I certainly hope I don't become these people. And that's no knock on them, because I love them dearly. But I hope that I still have that drive, that vigor, no matter what age, to try something new to go out, go to adventures, travel, and just accomplish as much things as I can, write more chapters in my story before my book closes. This got me to thinking about how I've read before that people who spend their entire lives working, once they retire, they are lost. They lose themselves because their entire lives were based on work, and work has become their identity. So once they retire, they lose their purpose in life. You see a lot of them. They go right back to work. It's like, wow, you're 65, you're 70. Why'd you come back? And you hear those people, I love my job. It gives me something to do. It gives me purpose. It's like, really? But you got to do something else, right? I mean, if it makes you happy, I'm not trying to say, look, you're too old, get out. But I feel like there's so much more. And I see it right in front of my face. My dad is retired, but he just spends his days watching iPad or watching the TV by himself at home. It's a bit disheartening because I tell him, hey, I signed you up for the gym. Why don't you go hit the gym? You know? Why don't you go to like those senior communities? Go play chess with them, meet new people, talk to new people. Because it seems like old people just keep to themselves. Is it due to society, how it works? I'm not entirely sure, but he's just not interested in meeting new people. He just tells me, hey, I'm 80, I'm old. I can't do anything anymore. And it's just that thought pattern. Why confine yourself in that bubble, in that box? Is that what happens after you retire when you worked your entire life? What's next, right? I mean, sure, they did the most amazing thing possible. They bore children and raised them to adulthood, and now those children have their own children. They become grandparents. It's the proudest thing they can do. In the most basic terms of biology, we accomplish a goal, our goal of what we do in this life, which is to have progeny and pass on our genes and DNA, make sure that next generation survives to in turn pass on their genes. So, for all intents and purposes, my dad's work is complete. But then again, we're human. We're much more than just simple living organisms that are here, put on this earth to eat, sleep, procreate. It's why we do so many things like art, expressing ourselves, creating things. It's what humans do best. Look at all these skyscrapers, these software, the internet, hell, the iPhone, technology, our communities, everything. We build, that's what we do. So what greater purpose in life than build? And I certainly hope that I don't change my ways as I get older, because I can see. When my parents came from Taiwan to America back in the 70s, they had all the drive in the world. They had the grit, the tenacity, the mental fortitude to forge a better future for us, for me, my brother, for themselves. But somewhere in between, decades later, that drive has been lost. Is it due to old age, cognitive brain functions? Or is it due to what I've mentioned? Since they spent their entire lives working so much, it became their identity. Kind of like how a prison inmate who was locked up for 30, 40, 50 years. When they come out, they're so unaccustomed to modern society. What do? They commit another crime right away to get back into jail because that's their new home. That's what they've known through the majority of their lives. And they're comfortable in that tiny little jail cell. My goal in this life, my mental purpose, is to be as malleable as possible, to always be able to absorb new ideas and be able to pivot and adapt as fast as possible. When these new ideas that are a 180 to what I currently believe, I don't want to be one to immediately reject them. I want to really think about it and possibly glean the positives, incorporate into my thought process, and reforge my identity. Even if it means tearing everything down, my previous beliefs and convictions, even if it means destroying every last piece and reforging from the foundations, I'm willing to do it. I never want to be so rigid as to have one idea for the rest of my life, to confine myself into that box. I want to expand. I want to flow. Bruce Lee has said, be like water, my friend. And that's what I strive to be. Just my thoughts for tonight. I know it's a bit of a somber one, especially on a day as today, like today, which is supposed to be one of much happiness. Well, I hope my little rant, whatever you want to call it today, has sparked some ideas within you as well and allowed you to probably expand your mind and also hopefully think outside the box. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.